The Southeast Asian region of the world consists of many different nations, including Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, and the Philippines. National governments in Southeast Asia range anywhere from a republic in the Philippines to constitutional monarchies in Thailand and Malaysia to communist Vietnam. Despite their stark political differences, as well as the occasional border dispute between Thailand and Cambodia, Southeast Asian countries generally maintain positive diplomatic relationships with each other and with the rest of the world. An environmental concern which is prominent not only in Southeast Asia, but throughout most of the world, is the pollution of air and water in big cities. Especially in Asia, where cities consist largely of factories and sweatshops, pollution has become a major issue in relation to people's health and well-being. Also, Southeast Asia is experiencing major deforestation as a result of forests being cut down for lumber or to make room for cities or crops. This deforestation just exacerbates the issue of air pollution, as there are fewer and fewer trees and plants to absorb the city's emissions. Further, the geographic positioning of Southeast Asia makes the region susceptible to regular tropical storms, and as we saw in the Philippines in 2013, even the occasional tsunami. Although the region has adapted to this climate, storms can still cause extensive damage in this area. Southeast Asian nations are ideal partners for global trade because they hold many people who will work hard for extremely low wages, which results in unbelievably low consumer prices for clothing, shoes, and other products. This labor setup produces a very obtuse class pyramid for this region, in which there are millions of people at the bottom in the working class, a much smaller middle class, and a tiny upper class at the top. However, even with so many people living in poverty, these nations' economies are growing immensely. The Philippines' GDP, or gross domestic product, is currently $250.3 billion US, up from $168.3 billion US in 2009. Likewise, Thailand's GDP has grown from $263.7 billion US in 2009 to $365.6 billion US today. These immense jumps are a direct result of international free trade. Besides sweatshops, which can make t-shirts for mere pennies on the dollar, Southeast Asia has a lot of natural resources to offer the world. Vast, fertile valleys stretch across the region which, paired with the warm, humid climate, allow for the growing of crops such as rice, lettuce, cabbage, and strawberries. Off of the region's thousands of miles of coastline, the fertile soil extends far into the vast Pacific and Indian Oceans, where fishermen bring in millions of pounds of fish and other seafood every day. Below the surface of the earth, Southeast Asia holds an abundance of minerals such as gold, silver, copper, and zinc, which contributes to a booming mining industry. Although we benefit greatly from sweatshops in Southeast Asia, the conditions under which many of them are run are simply unacceptable. For example, before Nike began to improve their sweatshops, their reputation was tarnished by constant reports of both physical and verbal abuse happening in their factories. In addition to this abuse, sweatshop workers are paid as little as 26 cents per hour in Vietnam. Although many workers are provided with health care and meals in addition to their measly wages, most of their living conditions are horrible. We started to raise expectations and wages in sweatshops. We believe that the United States would have a much better relationship with these workers, who would in turn be more proud of the products that they make.